Hello and welcome back to Beautiful Mind. Well, we're going to be discussing the 12-year chart of Bitcoin and the updated forecast for our price levels from our forecasted price lows. And we're going to talk about these levels. We're also going to talk about our Fibonacci circle and a few of our other indicators just to get another finished off view of Bitcoin as we have been going over this material in a three-part series here, and this being the third. And so we're just going to recap really quickly the previous campaigns. And also, while we're doing it, note that the rings have really caught us. All right, so starting off at the beginning of Bitcoin here, at the bottom of the ring here, we moved right up to the top here of the ring, and we moved up a cumulative 1900% in 3 months. Now, that's a key number. We talked about this in the previous videos. We're not going to probably ever see 5,500%, but it's possible. Our moves down, we noted that they were 5 months and 93%, and over 11 and 14-month period, they're 84 to 80%. So 82% is about our median average. After 20 months, we were about 54% down, and then you can see we rifled up and we pierced into this ring here, and we gained some support. We sat on this ring, and we moved up again, another 1,800% from right here. We just rocketed right up, and 3 months. And then we moved down. We had a couple of moves here. So we had a pretty fast first move. It was 80% down. After 6 months, we had a 72%. And then from there, we had a cumulative move up here of 1,300% here in our 3 months. And our 5 months cumulative, 1,600%. So again, 1,900%, 1,800%, 1,600%. All right, so let's move on. So in our channel here, we came back, got slaughtered. This just killed everybody for 20 months. I don't think anyone can stick around and want to buy Bitcoin after going through that. And that's exactly what happens. This is a reoccurring number again, 20 months. So we're paying attention to this stuff now. Now take a look. We pierced through our ring. We couldn't get any higher. We got rejected after our 3 months, and we just wrote it down. And look, we almost to the dollar. We came back to our ring, gained a bunch of strength, came up, pierced almost into our next ring, got some rejection, sat down, came down pretty close to our trend line, pierced through this ring, and then we gained some muscle. And there again, we pierced through here, sat down, gained a whole bunch of strength, pierced through this circle, right through that ring. We had a big wick there. And we traveled through and we sat down on it next month. And then from there, we just moved up and pierced through and muscled through into here, took another sit down on this ring, and then we took off again, folks, and we just literally busted right up. This was a big move here again. And we talked about all these moves in the previous videos, and that was a 7-month move up in that second or third or first tutorial. So that was a big move again. And again, here we go. Our 12, 13, 20, and 27 months. So these are big dates. And look what happened. We fell right back to our ring, right to our bullseye, just to the dollar. Rocketed right back up, held by the ring, right on this trend line. Just rejection. We talked about this in our other tutorials. And then we just meandered down and we had this rejection top here, and we pulled right back to the ring, like to the dollar again, folks. These rings are extremely powerful. You know, these are a really good tool. And now you can see why I use them. They're very, very good. So let's move on and see what happened. Well, sure enough, we uh, we moved right up. We had a good move here. This was I think this was a 500%. Yes, it was a 500% move up here to this point here. And then from here, we cumulatively moved to our first top and our second top here, 16 and 1700%. We covered that in our last tutorial. And we had a violent move down here of 55%. And that lasted 2 months. So it doesn't really, give us a good indication that we're in a bull market yet. We came up and had a rejection, our ring. Let's take a look at this. We came through, we pierced back through our ring here, and we sat on our trend line here. Oh, sorry, this isn't our trend line. I'm sorry, folks. This is our Fibonacci tool. This ring actually is the ring to make the tool. So, or the tool to make the ring. Sorry. So, anyways, we came down and we got a little bit more strength, and then we got rejected. And look here. We came down. We got held here. We sat on this again, this ring that's not our trend line, which is only 50% back. We moved up and we're held again by our ring. It's held us. And we haven't got above this trend line, and we've got a parallel here. And we've just sort of stayed right in between it, pretty much to the dollar, folks. There's no other way to describe that. So we've got our future moves up here. So what does it look like? Well, from our targets, we know that our average move down is about 12,000 K. So what would that look like? Well, from 12,000, that would take us up to 168,000 and 228,000, so that's say coming down from around this level and us moving up to the 168 level here and going up to 228, so is it possible? Well, it's certainly possible, but first we have to be confirmed that that is our bottom, and we also have to confirm, as we talked about earlier, with our indicators. Our indicators have to stay below for a long period of time, and they have to satisfy us that they all are saying the same thing at the same time. It's a safe time to buy. We've got golden crosses. Our RSI has moved up, and we've stopped this sideways downward movement. And our buyers have all returned. They've come in. The bars have turned blue, and the bull market has resumed. So that's what we're interested in. If we don't see these things occur here, and unanimously, all four of these, all four have to tell us unanimously together that they've changed and flipped, and we've got a golden cross, and we've got all these confirmations. Then we know we're a buyer. So, well, we talked about when that could be, and we have these possible dates here from our top, and that would represent this April, May, and June, July of this year. Right now, presently, we're in May, and so May and June and July are representing our next possible bottom. Our next one after that is December at 20 months. We talked about these. I don't have my 20 on here, but 20 is up here. That's 27. So we had this fake out, breakout, and rejection. Anyways, moving on from that, we also have our 27 month where we had 27 months, and we're just saying, hey, possibly July 2023. Is that going to be the case? Well, not necessarily. I mean, it's possible, but doesn't mean it is. So we also have our second top here where we have, again, a cumulative months, and that would bring us to November and February of our new year. So these are correlating with some, you know, again, with some other counts that we have, and we have a July here, we have a November and a December correlating. So from these tops and these counts, and we know that these 20 and 27 month periods here, we know that we need to watch out for all these dates. So that's what we're doing. These are our possible dates. That's the best we can do right now is project into the future from our past and use the models from the past, and we just watch what it's doing. And then as soon as the data is suggesting that our targets are hit, hopefully one of our targets are hit, and we score big here and we nail it. And I think we're going to achieve that, and I'm quite quite satisfied that we're looking to do that, and it's going to happen. So from there, these are our targets, and we're just going to be mindful. Are we going to see, all these targets? It's possible. I mean, if we stop at 30,000 here, we could certainly go to 420,000 and 570,000. As long as all our indicators flipped over, told us they're all unanimously bullish, we break over, we sit on top of this, and we make our top up to our 500,000 level here, hit our ring, pierce through it. That's fine. Now, I wanted to point out also when we break above and have a breakout, and we talked about this in our previous tutorials, when we have a breakout, we have a move up of about 1,800%. So what would that look like from here? So let's go take a look at that right now. Let's see what I'm that kind of guy. I like to chew on things like a hungry tiger. I want to know everything. So here we go. What is 1,800% going to look like? Well, it's sure looking like right here. That's a $1.2 million Bitcoin down to, say, a 1,600% to, let's just say, a million to 1.2 million is a possible target once we break above and we can do 1,800%. We did these breakouts and we went up 1,800%. It's happened before. We've seen 1,800%. We could have an 1,800% move all the way up to 500,000 folks, right up to this ring, and we could potentially sit back down and rest on our old top and then move again up to $1 million. It's possible. Is it going to happen? Not necessarily, but we're going to be looking out for these eventualities. And I just wanted to cover all of these target areas and all of these target dates. I wanted to use this tutorial to educate myself and educate you. And I'm hopeful that it's beneficial to you. It's certainly very beneficial to me. I'm very comfortable now with Bitcoin and where it's going, what it's doing, what to look out for. And I want you to stay tuned And please like and subscribe. And also leave a comment down below. I really would like to hear back positive feedback, how I can improve the channel. I want to also add some other content. XRP, we're going to talk about. Silver, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about also the other Bitcoin that's most important. It's the Chinese Bitcoin. It's the Yuan Finance. You may not have heard of it. Some of you may. Some of you are veterans to this. The Chinese Bitcoin is a pretty wild Bitcoin. And, you know, we're just going to talk about that real quick here. Chinese Bitcoin, the Yuan Finance here. This is the monthly chart. It's only been around for a couple of years, not even 18 months. So, what is this chart telling us? Well, the Chinese Bitcoin started off at 15 bucks, and in 1 week, in 30 days, it went all the way up and made a top at 18,000 in 1 month. And where did it top out? Well, look, the ring caught it, took our bottom, caught our top. And where was that? $90,000. Okay? That's how frighteningly strong the Chinese Bitcoin is. Now, remember there's only 3 countries right now that have adopted Bitcoin. And America is the premier for the American Bitcoin. And El Salvador has adopted the American Bitcoin. And we have the Yuan Finance, the Chinese Bitcoin. And this is what's going on in the world. China is right now in a head-on warfare for Bitcoin and asset dominance. And they are very strong. Now let's take a look at this Bitcoin here. This has pulled back and has sat on this ring here, and it's sort of hugging it. And are we going to see a poke down and, down to this level? I mean, it's possible. Anything is possible. Are we going to sit down and just sit here? Well, it's possible. It's looking like we're stuck in this trend in this channel here. It's not looking particularly good, guys. It's if we look at this on a weekly time frame here, it's we're getting kind of long in the tooth, and we're banging around. We're ready for a dead cat bounce, really, and so is the American Bitcoin. It's ready for a dead cat bounce. XRP and silver, they've all come down. XRP's come down to 41 cents, and silver's come down into the low 21s. So we've had a lot of capitulation. Let's take a look at our indicators here. Well, they're still saying under. Still saying down, down. Got a death cross here. Our RSI is coming down. It's come below our median line. It's just poked through. Things are just starting to get ugly. Can we have a little kick up? Look at, we got some leading indicator volatility here. This quick little spike down. These, we have to really watch out for these. We don't want to get faked out. So we're going to watch all this stuff, and we're going to go through this step by step, and we're going to take a look at all this, and you bet we're going to find out what exactly is going on. So let's take a look back here now at let's take a quick look at silver. This is quite an interesting chart. We're going to talk about this real quickly here. Now, silver has been trending along in this Fibonacci downward channel that I have here once I get it in better view for you. And we're just going to get a look at this. Now, I know you're going to ask me now, how come we don't have data here? Well, Stormgain just started to load this asset, and lo and behold, I don't. This is another pet peeve I might have with Stormgain, other than overpopulating my charts and they start flashing and stuff. So you have to watch out for that. That's another pet peeve. So I don't think Stormgain's the best platform, but I don't think it's the worst. Just choose a platform you think you're comfortable with. Right now, I'm with this one. But anyways, for this tutorial, I have a Fibonacci uh, channel with our circle. And look at silver. Silver has peaked out to the dollar on this ring and has come down, and we are inside the middle of our ring. And you know, okay, maybe you guys are thinking that's a little busy right now. Maybe I should just take that off for a second, and we can just see what's happening here with the ring, and then we'll bring that back after. So we came up, we've to the dollar, we sat under our ring. We came down, we sat on our ring, just and then we pierced through to the next ring, and then pierced through again, and we wicked deep down. Moving back up again, this ring was holding us, and we just pierced down. Look at us, we just fell deep right to the bottom of our bullseye. Just held us now, just barely. And what do? We jumped and we leaped. We gained a lot of strength here. And remember now, each one of these bars is 7 days, so a lot of time elapsed. It was going up and faking everybody out. We had these big fake outs. We talked about these with our indicators too, how dangerous this asset can be, right? We don't even have enough data to get a death cross on this one. We have enough data on this one to have a death cross that would have warned us, and our RSI would have rolled over here like it did, and it warned us. So pretty much would have been enough to keep us out from getting too slaughtered. And look at that. We just fell right back. And what did we do? We just sat right down almost to the dollar again, back to our old resistance and in the bullseye of the Fibonacci ring. And then we just crept up. We just kept moving up, and we kept piercing up these rings, sitting back down, gaining more strength, sitting on them, piercing through, piercing through. And then we just lost all our momentum and strength, and we were held by this ring. This ring has been incredible overhead resistance. And look at us, folks. We've just fallen down, and we're about to sit on this ring. We're about to get some support on this ring somewhere, or maybe we're pierced through. Maybe we'll fall down, depending on what our indicators are saying to us. And if we can run a trend line down here and it breaks above, and all our indicators are telling us, then it's a buy. Well, we'll look for that. So that's silver, and I just wanted to talk about that really quick. Again, let's go look at this indicator that I had populated on here before. Look at how well it has held our market structure. Here's our first target point. Here's our second target point. Here's our third target point. And look, our channel has held our asset. It stopped it to the dollar, folks. These tools are extremely powerful. And when we use them properly, they can really help us. And, I don't see any other videos out there or tutorials that are suggesting all the material that I'm suggesting in such a way, and concisely, simple, and really just simple. Anyways, again, I want you to like and subscribe, please, if you feel this material is really helpful. If you feel it's beneficial, please add a comment down below, like and subscribe, and let's let's talk about XRP really quickly. I know that there's a lot of fans out here that really like XRP. I'm one of them as well. So we can certainly talk about XRP on this channel. You can see our rings now. Our data just started, and our rings have been giving us a lot of resistance and then a lot of support. And then what did we do? We rocketed up to the middle of our bullseye. We kind of pierced through. We just kind of meandered again. And we're going to talk about all these periods here and these metrics, and we're going to go through all these time counts, and we're going to do the same thing. So stay tuned, folks. We're going to look at this stuff. So here we go. We came up, and to the dollar, we stopped on this ring. So this ring is right now very powerful. We need to watch this ring. We're going to do that. And look what happened. We pierced back down through. We sat on this ring, pierced through, got down. We sat down in the median level again. Looking left, that's lots of support. Looking right, we wouldn't have had this data here, but looking right now, we sat in the middle of our bullseye. So what happened? Well, we continued to meander along and get wrecked, and just wrecked and wrecked until we sat on the middle of our bullseye. And now we've started to gain some momentum. Are we out of the woods? No, not by a long shot. XRP has August and December. They have these periods where the courts have to finalize all the findings that XRP has been going through, and XRP has done nothing wrong, and the SEC has lied and been caught with their pants down. And this is exactly why the SEC was, in fact, started to stop that kind of behavior in our trading market. It's just terrible. It's horrible, people. But thank goodness they've been caught. They're not allowing this anymore. XRP has made a settlement with the SEC. The SEC does not want to let out those emails and let you know all the dirty dealings that they were saying and hiding. And that XRP could well be the next asset ledger for the United Nations as an asset transfer. And that has been yet to be fully let out of the bag. It's been touched upon, and this is probably a lot of the trouble that's going on inside these emails. It's going to be used because it's not a proof of work system like the Chinese Bitcoin or the American Bitcoin. They're all proof of work. They all have miners. They take care of and make sure all the transactions for all the computer calculations and all the computations and all the algorithms are taken care of and calculated properly, and they add up properly. So a ledger like this can be, it can be manipulated, just like a dollar, just like anything that, you know, doesn't have a proof of work, doesn't have something to hold it in place and say, hey, look, you know what, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, and has to be this way. But this is the way of the future. These cryptocurrencies are not coupled to anything. Now, the Chinese Bitcoin and the American Bitcoin, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, will possibly be tied to gold and silver. Now, you heard it here on Beautiful Mind, and that could be a far-fetched thing, but it's looking like it every day. Anyways, like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and come back for some more material. I really hope you enjoyed that. And thank you for joining us here on Beautiful Mind.